basically following a doctor named Adam through a research study that he's conducting on the disorder aplastic anemia. And as we follow him, we meet Vic and Jake, who are both 18-year-old boys who were diagnosed with aplastic anemia, and we kind of just see how they deal with it and how they all kind of work together for this research study to find more information about the disease, like cures, what causes it, and stuff like that. And I wanted to talk about a few points in the play that I found were really interesting. So the first question that I'm going to be talking about is if there are any cultural or socially relevant themes in the performance. And I feel like there definitely are. So as we follow Vic and Jake through their journey with aplastic anemia, we see Jake a lot of times kind of like losing hope and losing motivation to do things slightly. He still pursues everything that he was originally, but we see him like kind of questioning himself, thinking like, is this worth it to do this if I could be dying from this disease next year? Like, you just don't know. And I feel like that's really relevant today with the virus especially, because it's leaving a lot of people, even me sometimes, thinking like, is my career path the right path? Is it going to be pointless to have done all this schooling for a degree that's no longer really as relevant or as stable as it was in the past? And I feel like we can all kind of relate to that because everything is so up in arms right now. We don't know what's happening. It's out of our control, just like the aplastic anemia is out of Jake's control. And it's kind of like, we can do nothing about this. This could affect us and our whole families, and you know, we just kind of don't know what we're supposed to be doing. And I feel like that's just very similar to the way that Jake and Vic are both feeling about their disease, even though, you know, it's different, but it's something that can be related. And then I wanted to talk about how the space was used and if it was unusual. The set design was really interesting. So it was basically a bunch of like red boxes with a kind of harsh white light. But the whole time the red boxes are there, and they use it as like their setting, and they change it up during the transition so that they're set up a little bit differently. But the whole time they have the red boxes there, and they use them as tables or doctor stuff. And I thought it was really interesting that it was such a simple like set design, but it was still interesting, and it kind of somehow added to the acting, even though it was maybe it was because it was such a blank canvas kind of, that it made the acting even better, I guess. And they also had a screen that they used pretty frequently, and it was mostly used for like FaceTimes and stuff, like video chats and videos that they're watching. But at the end of it also, they use it as like a memory kind of thing, almost like Othello in a way. Like they have like at the end, when, sorry to spoil it, but when Vic dies, they have like memories of him on it, and it just kind of is really nice. They utilize the screen in a really interesting way. And then I wanted to talk about the design aspects of the performance, kind of like hand in hand with what I just talked about, and if they work together. So the cast was dressed in normal, like, current outfits, so they weren't like outdated or anything. And with the like red set design and the white space in the back, I feel like they worked really well together, because it was kind of like a very simple setting and a very simple way of dressing. I guess nothing was distracting from the actual play itself, and like I said before, it just made it better that it was so simple, so you could really focus even more on the on like the acting. I definitely don't think that the lighting, there was really not any lighting and not any sound that was like, so I didn't notice any lighting, like light designs that were interesting at all. Like it was just very basic. The light was white pretty much the whole time. So they didn't utilize the light to play a part in the actual scenes, which I feel like they could have definitely utilized the light a lot more to like kind of just add to the scene, I guess. They did use it a little bit, which is not enough in my opinion. And the sound, they really had literally no sound effects at all in it, which I can't see how a sound effect would have enhanced the play experience at all, but I don't know. But I feel like everything worked really well together, and the red boxes with the white background kind of felt doctor office-y for some reason, which I feel like kind of helped to remind the watchers like that we're in like a medical kind of setting throughout the whole play. But I thought that this was a really great play, and I would definitely recommend to watch it because I definitely feel like there were aspects of it that were very relevant today, and like it was kind of like felt good to be able to relate to someone like that. But yeah, definitely go watch it.